So it's the morning after the night before, and I've calmed down a little bit, but I can't lie to you guys. I'm still annoyed with Morato. I'm still annoyed with the result. But there are positives and negatives to take away from it. So let's jump into Forest 0, Morato 2. Hi guys, hope you're doing well, and welcome to some calmer match analysis on the game from yesterday. I'm going to go through positives, I'm going to go through some negatives. I got some serious questions that I want to know if you guys can answer or not. And my first question is, have you hit the like button? So give it a quick second, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. Thank you to everyone who's grabbed me a coffee. You guys are absolute legends. You help this channel go and grow. And you can just scan that QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Right, so yeah, we know what Morato did was criminal, suicidal, and everything else, okay? But that's not really where I want to start with today. I want to start with Hutchinson. I've had enough of this. And this is both a positive and a negative. The positive is he's clearly a quality player. He's clearly desperate to make the most of the opportunities he's getting. He's clearly like, just desperate to get out on that pitch. And also, he's been quite calm behind the scenes. He's not kicking up a fuss. He's not, going on hunger strike or anything to try and get himself a game. He's the kind of guy who, when he's given the opportunity, is doing what he can to make sure that he's performing on the pitch. And I think at some point, if you're him, and look, I'll just use Ndoye as the example, put aside that I don't really rate him. Let's just pretend Ndoye hasn't been brilliant, okay? And you got Hutchinson, who's seen Ndoye have a stinker, and he's had a couple of other stinkers before. And he's there every time he's come on. He's had some kind of influence on the game or some kind of impact on the game. Sort of Leeds, we kind of saw it yesterday as soon as he was on. At some point, he's going to start to feel negative about the whole situation. Because he's only human, Harry. He's going to start questioning, like, if I'm going out there and I'm cooking on that pitch, and then Ndoye or Dominguez, let's use Dominguez because I like Dominguez, but he's not a winger. And he's seeing a non-winger playing as a winger when he is a winger, and I'm using winger a lot, I know. That's going to start to, one, knock his confidence and probably start to question why. And this is what I want the answer from you guys on, be it your tongue-in-cheek answers or be it what you think is going on. Why is he not getting a game? Now, it can't all stem from the Edu stuff. We know that Nuno and Edu had beef, okay? Like, we've got plenty of videos on that. You can see them on the channel if you're unsure what the beef was about. But you can half understand it there. Because Hutchinson was Edu's boy. Edu basically signed him for Forest. And Nuno just wanted to be the alpha male in it, or vice versa, right? But you've had Postecoglou come in and not really use him. He used him at Swansea, if I remember rightly. And you've had Sean come in now and not really use him either. And the thing is, the fact he got omitted from the Europa League squad is criminal in itself that Nuno did that and sabotaged us. But you would just think, logically speaking, a manager comes in and thinks, right, we've got basically 2 to 3 games a week. I need wingers to be fresh because in a Sean Dyche system, for example, he likes the wingers to come back to help and defend. That means the wingers are covering more grass in a game. Therefore, wingers need to be fresh. You've also got Backward out injured. I know he hasn't really shone since he's been here, but I'm talking in terms of numbers of wingers. You got McAtee who can play right wing. He hasn't really shone. You got Ndoye, in my opinion, I think he's had the odd session here and the odd section within the game where he's looked okay. And then you got Hutchinson, who every time he's gone on the pitch, I feel like even if he hasn't played amazing, he's trying to drive at fullbacks, create chances, open it up for either a cross. What I like about him is he'll drive to the byline, look up and try and, cut one back into the box. Or if he's wider out, he wants to put a cross in. And he's showing me a lot of signs of he has to start. I don't understand why Ange and Sean Dyche haven't used him as a starter. I don't think he started a single game in the Premier League. I'm sure one of you can fact check me on that. But why is my question? And it can't be, surely they can see his talent. Now, some people will argue, okay, this is the whole, they look better when they're not playing because what's playing is rubbish and you just want to play what's behind it scenario. We've had this many times in recent years at Forest. But I don't think it's that. I think when a player has shown an impact that regularly, who has zero attitude problems, who probably himself knows he should be starting, and is just putting performance in after performance on those cameos, it's going to get to him. And that's my biggest worry about this. So I'm saying it now. If Sean Dyche doesn't start him against Wolves, some serious questions need to be answered as to why he's not starting. They really do. So look, that's my little rant on Hutchinson. I would start. Not only that, he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. But get your thoughts on it down below. Why is he not being started? Would you start him? And is it getting to the stage where it's becoming criminal? And speaking of criminals, let's just get this over with and talk about Morato. Now, I actually think at centre-back he's played okay this season. I think he's crap at left-back. We saw that, I think, against Arsenal, if I remember rightly. But yesterday, it just felt like he was playing left-back at centre-back. He just looked like an absolute bozo. And I just can't believe some of the decision-making. It was such schoolboy errors that I haven't really seen in my under-15s since they were under-11s. And that's the worrying thing when it's basic mistakes. He got lucky a couple of other times. There was the one in the second half where it was crossed in. He tried to flick it with his head. He misses it. It falls to, I can't remember who it was at Brighton, and Sells has to bail him out. I just can't get over the back heel. Like, I've watched this replay so many times. I'm like, bro, why didn't you just punt it out for a corner? Just a toe poke, under 7 style. Just poke it out for a corner. Why were you trying to back heel it to Sells? What was Sells going to do? Pick it up? It's crazy. But look, we've said what we need to say about Morato. But my thing about this is that out of the 3 Botafogo players we signed, Jesus, Jair Cunha, and I forgot the other guy now. I'm still tired. The left back. I said to you guys in the summer, the one that excites me the most is Jair Cunha. I don't understand why he's not being given minutes. Or even Zach Abbott, who is a centre-back. Like, surely they're not going to make the dumbass mistakes we saw with Morato yesterday. And it's not the first time we've seen mistakes with him. Now, I've seen reports to say that Forest are looking for another centre-back in January as backup to Murillo and Milenkovic. And there has been a little bit of an update on Murillo. Apparently, he felt his hamstring, and Sean Dyche has said that he didn't want to risk it because if it twangs, then that's it. He's out for weeks, so they'd rather not risk it than risk it. And I don't know. I just want to see Jair Cunha if Murillo can't play. I would trust Jair Cunha. I think he's more right-sided centre-back than left-sided centre-back, but he'll do a better job than Morato. And I feel bad saying it because there has been marked improvements in Morato's game, but I'm sorry, that one's not recoverable for me from yesterday. So the whole Murillo thing, I blame Dyche for it. I do. And I don't, and this is nothing to do with me not wanting Dyche in the first place or anything. I'm just, again, using logic. You're comfortable against Malmo. You've taken off some of the other players. You're playing Murillo not as a centre-back, as a left-back, where the workload is going to be more because he's getting up and down. Why risk it? And on top of that, you know he's just come back from an injury and just come back into form, as in into full fitness and been able to have his natural form. The fact that he's done that is really annoyed me. Because I look at that Brighton game, and I think I said it at some point yesterday. If Murillo was playing in that game, there's no way in hell those 2 goals go in. Because positionally, he would have been better for the first goal than Morato. And for the second goal, he wouldn't have been stupid enough to try and backheel it to Sells or mess that header up that badly. So I am annoyed at Dyche or whoever decided not to sub him off, because he should have been the first one coming off because he's had recent injuries. But we are where we are. Look, it's a big week. Wolves coming up. Then we've got, is it Everton or Fulham and Spurs? I can't remember the exact order. So here's my little bit of happy clappiness for you guys. Do I buy into it? I don't know, but I want to know if you guys do. I thought we would probably draw or lose to Liverpool, and we got 3 points. I fancied our chances at beating Brighton, and I think we should beat Wolves, although right now I don't know how I feel about Forest. So maybe you could just invert those fixtures and say, okay, let's pretend we lost to Liverpool and we beat Brighton. I want 7 points out of that batch of 4 games. So we got 3. Let's go and beat Wolves and then get a draw and a win and see where we are. But my worry right now is I feel we may find ourselves in a gap of the gap. And what do I mean by that? I think the bottom 3 teams are going to struggle to pick up more points. And you're going to find us and West Ham adrift of the bottom 3, as in a good sense, but adrift of the pack that's chasing Europe. And that may put us in a position where we're safe, but we're not really going to move in the table. And therefore, it becomes Europa League. It's all eggs go in that Europa League basket. But let's see how this next week plays out. Let's see what happens. But I'm still annoyed about yesterday. I really am. And yeah, this is where we are. So look, we'll be doing Grumpy Old Reds tomorrow. So that is a preview and a post view of the game. Please hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed. There'll be some videos coming up on the second channel, TFN, so check that out as well. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.